Somebody won't
Follow me, people. It's your boy. Back at it again. Getting how I live. You already know. Today, I'm about to go over how to get into the trades and how to pick the trade for you. Now, the first thing to ask is, what is a trade? And I'm not here to bullshit you. That's a pretty easy answer. It's just working with your hands. Oh, yeah! Now, the more important question is how you should pick a trade. And you're going to have to do some soul searching. You're going to have to delve into the deep depths of yourself to figure out what truly calls you, what your purpose in life, or just, figure out what interests you and what you like to do, right? Are you a physical type of person? Do you care about having to do some hard working, lifting, laboring tasks? Or are you more of the type of person that's just trying to, spool some wires and drill some holes and not do too much with their body? Do you have a car? That's honestly a really big thing. If you don't have a car, you're going to be kind of in a tough situation because not a lot of motherfuckers are about to be able to give you rides. Or, usually they're not willing to. They might be able to, but they're not going to be really trying to take the time out of their day to give some rando schmando on the job site a ride that's completely out of their way. What are your finances as well? Do you need a job now? Or can you go to a trade school and maybe pick up some skills? Or, can you get an apprenticeship? Kind of some stuff that you have to think about. Like, do you have money in your bank account to get to the job? Not just having a car. Do you have the gas to get to the job that could be 40 minutes away? And not to mention, if you join a union, which we'll get into a little bit later, you're going to have union fees and stuff like that. Also, how smart are you? Did you have good grades in high school? If you didn't, you're going to have to take some tests and make sure that you can even get into a good apprenticeship if that's the route that you decide to go. Most importantly, out of all these subjects that you have to think about is, what do you want out of your life? Do you want to be the fucking dude covered in shit that's making a shitload of money? Or do you like being a little bit more tan, a little bit more good looking, but you're kind of making dirt because you're just working with dirt? Kind of some things you got to think about. All right, so there's a huge question that you're going to want to ask yourself before you get too deep into the trades. Do you want to get trained by the union, or do you want to get trained by a private company? I'm here to lay out the brass tacks on why each one's got their perks and which one's got their disadvantages, all right? So starting with the union, because honestly, that's my preferred method, not going to lie. If I was about to get an apprenticeship, I'd probably go through the union, but that's a personal bias. Here's what I think is good about the union real quick. So starting off, obviously everyone's favorite, better pay and better benefits. The reason being, or the reason for that, is because these motherfuckers got dudes out here that their only job, their whole sole purpose of life is to make sure that you get better pay and better benefits. So yeah, that's probably something that you want on your side. It's also harder to get fired. For all you slackers out there, it's a little bit more difficult to get fired from a union because they have to do a lot more paperwork. So you can kind of get by with a little bit more bullshitting, right? Now, there are certain things that you're not going to be able to bullshit too hard on. But for the most part, it's more difficult to get fired because no one's going to want to have to deal with all the fucking paperwork that comes with that, right? Number 3, they teach better safety. Honestly, they might teach better overall because they have people there that are dedicated to that shit. And honestly, that's I think the masters and journeymen get perks or benefits extra, on top of what they already get for every apprentice that they pass. So there's that. I think, don't quote me on that. But they for sure teach better safety. So like PPE, breath or face masks, glasses, stuff like that. If you're in a private company, speaking from personal experience, those motherfuckers don't usually care that hard unless OSHA's lurking somewhere near. On And then also you'll learn a little bit better. Like I previously mentioned in the last topic, you're going to be learning a little bit quicker, a little bit probably better, all right, from the people that have been there, because honestly, union guys stick around for a long-ass time, so they got a lot of experience under their belt. So, you know, you're going to advance quicker, you're going to get a better paying job quicker, and you're probably going to learn a little bit better. So, hey, that's why I think the union's a move. But private company is a little bit easier to get into. Like I previously said, depending on how smart you are, you're going to have to take some tests. With a private company, usually you're just going to be allowed in, and you're gonna get trained, you know, you're gonna get tested, blah blah blah, on the job site, because it's gonna be easier to get fired, right? Because these motherfuckers can churn through people if they don't like them, because there's no real big paperwork or real big deal that they're gonna have to go through to fire you. It's just a regular job. It's not really any kind of technical schooling, you know. It's literally just on the job training. So they'll fire you if you fuck up like one time, right? On the other hand, though, you'll be able to learn how to run your company a little bit better, because obviously the end goal is to own your own company in the trades. You're not trying to fucking work for someone forever. Fuck that shit, right? So if you're in a smaller company, a private company, you're going to be able to see how that owner runs things a little bit better and be able to apply that to your own business a little bit later on. That's personal experience, because, you know, that's what I've been doing, right? There's going to be a greater variety in work environment. Again, speaking from my own experience, when you're working with a private company or a private contractor, whatever, you're going to be, you know, in some residential some days, you're going to be in commercial some other days. You never know what you could be doing, you know, depending on the week, you know, depending on if you finished a job last week, what you're going to be doing next week, right? Union, usually you're going to be on those big commercial jobs for the most part for like months at a time, right? So there's that. And then you might start at a higher wage. That's kind of depending on what state you're in, what trade you're going to, but you're probably not going to end at a higher wage than the union guys. So just keep that in mind, right? And to end this segment off, always talk to the reps and the private company. Make them fight for you.
We're going to make a great trade deal.
You're a valuable commodity. Your labor is a valuable commodity. Not a lot of motherfuckers are out here trying to do this shit nowadays.
Pussies.
So go talk to the rep. Go talk to the private company. See what they're going to be offering you. Weigh it out. You never know. These pointers that I just gave, these reasons why each one of these are better, could be completely different. So go talk to the rep. Go talk to the private company. See what's popping, and make sure that you get the best way that you can. Right. Now for some closing thoughts.
Don't care.
You might be asking yourself, damn, this sounds pretty sweet, but how long is it about to take? Well, usually an apprenticeship, whether it be through a private company or through a union,
Don't care. Still don't care.
gonna take anywhere between 2 to 5 years. You know, the easier trades like, I don't know, carpentry, maybe landscaping, maybe, I don't know. Depends on what you're gonna be going for. Those easier trades, they're gonna be probably around 2 years.
I don't care. I don't.
But for plumbing, for electric, for HVAC, that stuff's going to take maybe 4 to 5 years, depending on how good you are at it. It honestly depends on you. You're going to be getting paid. You're going to be getting trained for basically free. And it's fun, dog. Honestly, you make a lot of good connections, make some friends and stuff like that. And it's worth your time investment. Now, the requirements usually to get an apprenticeship is you have to be 18, you have to have a GED, you have to be able to pass a drug test, and you have to have your license, okay? So if you have all those things, hey, go check out what apprenticeships you can get into. Go look into the things that I already told you to look into to figure out what you want to do. And for all you youngins out there that aren't 18 quite yet, boner alert. Probably still in high school, I would assume, unless you're like me and dropped out. Hey, maybe go and take a few of these classes. Obviously, all the shop classes, you probably already know that. All shop classes are going to be far more beneficial to you, regardless of what you end up doing as a career, than anything else that you'll learn in school.
Are you sure about that?
Take automotive, take woodworking, take welding, all that shit, far better skills than learning about what the fuck happened 5,000 years ago. Even though that shit is pretty dope, I'm gonna say, hey, go take a welding class, all right? Get good at math. I know that sucks. I failed algebra twice, so I'm not one to talk, but that shit will help you get into an electrician apprenticeship. If you get like a C in algebra, you can you don't have to take the test to get an apprenticeship for electric. I think the same goes for plumbing as well. I don't think plumbing apprenticeships care too much about your grades, but regardless, hey, get good at math. It helps in pretty much everything in the trades. It's not like you're out here doing fucking just that retarded bullshit, right? But like 2 + 2 is good to know, okay? Physics, surprisingly, with plumbing, with electric, with carpentry, the load bearing beams and stuff like that. It's good to have a little bit of understanding around physics, okay? That's kind of out of left field. Probably wouldn't expect that. Or maybe you would if you're smart. I don't know. But yeah, physics, maybe take that if you got it. And then last but not least, computer science. Just because we live in that age and a lot of stuff is going to be getting more done on the computers, okay? Electric especially, plumbing too. Being able to put in blueprints, being able to read blueprints and stuff like that. Just take some computer programming classes or computer science classes, and you'll appreciate that, okay? And that's pretty much it for this episode. So, hey, hopefully you learned something. If you got any questions, hey, I'll try to answer them, but honestly, I'm not the super smart guy out here. But hey, I'll let you know what I know, and hopefully that'll help. But other than that, appreciate y'all, bless y'all, love y'all, and hold up. Bang bang.
Legalize nuclear bombs.